waiting for the all-important record button, and bam, it happens. We've been really kind of bamming it a lot lately, which means maybe they fixed the bandwidth. I don't know, it's kind of crazy. But good morning, everyone. Today, what is today? It is Wednesday. We know what that means for Two Sisters. That is Wealth Wellness Wednesday. We're going to chat about having that great relationship with money and finances and paying it forward. But good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, Lady Canna, published author with Two
Sistas. And hey, good morning, everyone. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 4.0. And obviously, I haven't had a chance to change, but who would want to change? Because, you know, I am what I am, right?
That's right. You just did your workout.
I did 2 workouts.
Whoa.
So I'm very, very proud of myself. That's going very well. But excuse me, obviously today with Wellness Wednesday, and talking about that relationship with money and paying it forward. I am so excited that I won, and I think I was just telling you this, I won a $15 gift card to Amazon. So I was pretty excited about that. I'm doing this 5-day challenge about lead magnets, and I am just loving it. And I connected with that person. So it's about the connections, which kind of rolls into Wealth Wellness Wednesday. And I'm going to turn it over to you while I mute myself so I can cough.
Okay, there you go, sister dear. And that is so true. You know, you meet different people when you are an entrepreneur. Obviously, we get involved with different groups, different health and wellness groups, different writing groups, different lead magnet groups, because entrepreneurs, you never stop learning. And when I throw that out there as an entrepreneur, let's be real. As a human being, we never stop learning. And we sometimes have to pivot the way we do things. And in order to pivot, you got to learn how to do that pivot. Sometimes it's not just easy as flipping a switch. It may be a whole different perspective. It may be a different way of doing something that you're already comfortable with. And now you've got to switch, turn, relearn. And, you know, especially with social media, especially with the way our world works today, things change on a dime. So we are, Two Sisters are always making sure that we are kind of always with the cusp of what's coming out, learning different ways of doing things to better improve. And one of those things that we frequently talk about on our different days, and today is Wealth Wellness Wednesday, is specifically changing that mindset with your relationship with how wellness and wealth kind of interact. And a lot of people say, well, that doesn't even make sense, Carol. So like, Jan, what are you talking about? Well, they do. When you have a better understanding of wealth, and when I say wealth, I'm not referring to materialistic things. I'm not which those are some of the benefits, obviously, of being wealthy. I'm not talking about the carrots that people may kind of dangle at you or flaunt at you. So you want what they have. That's not what I'm talking about. When we talk about wealth and having good mindset and a healthy wellness attitude with money, you are putting that out in the universe, which therefore the universe does pay you back. That's just how our universe works. If you don't, and have never seen, there's many different podcasts, many different movies talking about what you put out in the universe, that, you know, because the universe is full of energy. Now, you know, people say, well, how could the universe have that energy? Well, think about electricity. We know it works. You turn a button on, you turn a switch on, but do you know how it works? It's kind of the same thing with the universe. There's a lot of energy in the universe, and the more positivity that in mindset, good mindset that you put out, the universe finds its way back to the person that gave it up to begin with. It's just how life works. So when we chat about wealth and wellness, it is not about donating to a charity, which those are awesome things. So we applaud everyone that gives to their favorite charities. But that's not what we're talking about. Having a good relationship with money and paying it forward applies to all. It does not necessarily apply to the person that has the money. It actually does a more justice to the person that has no money. Does that make sense? And you're probably scratching your head and you're saying, Carol Sue, where are you going with this? Two sisters, what are you talking about? The point being, you attract what you surround yourself with. Now, when you give to a known or someone that you normally give to, whatever charity, Cancer Society, whatever, of course they appreciate that. But we also know that with those big corporations, even though they're nonprofit, a lot of people benefit from them. So that's not what we're talking about, because that's a whole different gamut. We are talking about having a financial exchange, giving someone financial money to someone that you don't know. Now that's so bizarro. I know it. I get it. It's a little weird, right? But let's think about that. So today we're gonna really break it down, because a lot of times we chat about it and then we chat about something else. So we really, really want to share with you the importance and the impact, because we want to create that domino effect. And we're going to kind of put up some numbers here to make you understand that. So when I talk about the actual financial exchange, it doesn't matter what the monetary amount is. It could be $1. It could be a quarter, to be honest with you. It could be $5, $10, $100, $200, whatever you choose. And the monetary amount does not change the outcome, meaning, oh, I gave more money to a stranger, so I'm going to get more money back in return. No, that's not what that means. It has to do with paying it forward to an unsuspecting person that you might not really understand the impact and the value that would have on them, to create that ripple effect and domino effect to share it with somebody else. Which, what does that do? That creates the emotion, the action, the vibe of giving, of thankfulness, of gratefulness and gratitude, paying it forward. And why would we do that to someone specifically that we don't know? You want to chat about that, Jan?
Sure. So there's many ways to do that. And like Carol said, a quarter, $1, $5, whatever you want to do and what that means to you. So perhaps, it could be something as simple as being in the checkout line, paying for, somebody's order, maybe they're just, or even having them go ahead of you and say, please add that to my bill. Maybe somebody's in a hurry and you can tell maybe they're a little flustered. I did that once and it gave me such joy, because this person was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I didn't know that person. And I think I saw them once after that, probably about 3 or 4 months later. And she waved to me. So that was pretty cool. But it's about making that connection, because there's always a connection. We talk about energy, which kind of goes back to the law of attraction. So for instance, if you wake up in the morning and it's kind of doom and gloom here today a little bit, and you're like, oh my God, another doom and gloom day. I'm going to have a rotten day. Like, you're already setting the tone for your day. You're putting that bad energy out there. However, you could turn it around, something as simple as, today is gloom and doom, but I don't care, because I'm going to have my own sunshine. Well, that gives you kind of that energy, that feel good feeling. And maybe you run out to the store and do something, and maybe, you see somebody who's a little frazzled behind you, or maybe you see a mom and she's just getting ready to go down the diaper aisle and she has her babies in tow, maybe a couple toddlers, and the kids are just driving her crazy. And you get a little bit ahead of her, and maybe you hear her say, oh, I'm gonna I have to get formula. And as you're walking by the formula, you maybe stick it a $5 bill or whatever it may be, so that the mom is sure to see that. Or, as you have often said, tuck it in a box. It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be something as simple as a connection gesture.
That is true. And the whole point of it and the action is because if we really truly understand that the greatest human emotion is gratitude, So what is going to happen is you're creating that ripple effect. They're going to be surprised because, again, it's an unsuspecting person. You don't want to give it to somebody you know. I want to be clear on that. Doesn't mean that you still can't give to people that you know. Does not mean you still can't donate to your favorite charity. Awesome. We applaud you. Please do that and continue to do that, especially with nonprofits. They do need that. However, this has to do with setting the tone, the law of attraction, because what you are creating is a ripple effect that now you're, the old saying, it's better to give than receive, because when you do that, you're releasing these natural endorphins of feel good, of a grateful heart. Well, guess what? Which impacts your health, your wellness, and your wealth is repaid back with the universe. Now, when I say, does it get paid back? A lot of people ask me that. Well, it's kind of like playing a lottery ticket. No, it is not. It does not mean that, I gave, I stuck a $5 bill in a diaper bag and I got home and I got news that I won the lottery. Well, that would be awesome. That would be amazing. But the chances of that happening are, let's be real, you never know. It could not. But that's not, sometimes the reward is not a monetary amount. It's how you feel good. And those that are the ones struggling with money, having that good relationship with money, or maybe things are really tight, you will benefit tenfold more, because even knowing, the universe knows, even though things are so tight with you, you still decided to pay that gift forward, even though it was $1. And you will frequently hear stories of people that come into money, or unsuspecting thing occurs to them. And when you find out that they've always been a giving person, the universe kind of has a weird way of straightening out things the way it should be. And that is why it's a mindset, but it also helps you understand the value of not only having that good relationship with money, but helping others in need, and you create that ripple effect. So let's just take your specific community. I don't know where you live. I don't know how many people in your community. So I'm going to give you a roundabout number. Say there is, and I'm going to make them simple numbers. Say there is 10,000 people in your area, in your community. Could be more, could be less. Well, imagine if only 10%, let's go with a really low number, only 10%. So 10% is what? 1,000 people. What if 1,000 people decided, you know what, I'm going to go out today and in my errands or whatever, I'm going to pay it forward to an unsuspecting person. Now, those 1,000 people in that 10,000 person community has now impacted another 1,000 people. The 1,000 people that did the giving to the unsuspecting people were giving a great gift of gratitude because they were giving from the heart. They've now impacted another 1,000 people right within that community. So now I've got 2,000 people already within that community of 10,000 that have already impacted. Chances are, so now let's take the 1,000 people that were impacted. Let's say only 50% decide to also be the gift giver. So now you've got 500 people still now impacting, and it goes on and it goes on and it goes on. And I also challenge people, don't necessarily always stay in your own community. How many times do you go to another town to buy something? Or maybe you have an appointment at a doctor's office, or you've got to run an errand. So it doesn't mean just impact your own immediate community, spread it out. Because in that way, when we are doing that all together, now I don't even know what the current population is of the United States, have no clue. It's up there. But what if just 10% decided, it's Wealth Wellness Wednesday, I'm going to pay it forward to an unsuspecting person? And the ripple effect, not only does it create, because, we'll give you a small example. Maybe you decided, I'm going to give $5 today. And maybe it went to someone now who is buying a box of diapers. They're very conscious of what they're spending. They've got a coupon. So they got a $2 off coupon. They're buying that particular item on sale. And then they open the box up and they find $5 in it. You don't think that mom is going to be pretty excited and say, I'm going to take that $5 and go get my nails done, because self-care is just important. Or you may have someone like Jan was talking about, someone that's flustered. They're trying to get out of that grocery store. They're fiddling around. Oh my God, I left my wallet. How many times? I've left my wallet in the car. No worries. Oh, what's your order? $12.82. There you go.
Right.
Now, do you think that that person is going to say, my God, that was so awesome. I'm going to try that too. You create that natural energy, that natural good feel gratitude energy. And look, we start small, but then you can, it's infinite on how many people that you can touch. Don't you think, Jan?
Yes, it's sparking the energy. And then the other thing that I want to bring up about that is, let's say, and I'll talk about the lottery in just a moment because I have some comments on that. Let's say you came into a little bit of money that you just weren't expecting, and perhaps you know someone, and maybe they want a certain something, but you do, and you want to get it for them because you know that in their heart, like, they are just working it. They, maybe a single mom, whomever it is, they are working it full time. They're being the everything parent. They're not only the mom, they're the dad too. What if you bought them something anonymously?
Again, I mean, how exciting would that be?
That would be so amazing. And I'm like coming up with all these ideas that are popping in my head. Sidebar, let's talk about the lottery for a second.
Mm-hmm.
If I won the lottery, number one, I would not tell anybody. And I certainly initially would not tell my husband because he's a blabbermouth. But I would contact my financial advisor and hire an attorney and perhaps start a 501c3 so I can do more of that and spread the wealth with that, meaning obviously put the funds in it to start it up, but raise funds for people who want to do that, but just don't know, they're just too busy to do that. So that would be like my awesome thing to do if I won the lottery.
And that's so cool. That is so cool.
And it would be a tax deduction because 501c3s are tax deductible.
Right. And again, that is really understanding that healthy relationship with money to make sure that obviously talk to your accountant and making sure that you are knowing all the different ways that you can save money. And especially for entrepreneurs, if you don't have a home-based business, I always say, and a lot of people say, well, I don't want to do that. But the tax benefits alone are going to create more wealth for you to spread more wealth. So a lot of people, when they talk about, and we'll specifically talk about entrepreneurs, people that are in direct sales that, decide, what I want to be my own boss. I want to be, my own CEO. I want to create my own environment of work. And they choose it because when you're in direct sales, it is the least amount of risk. And a lot of people say, is it a scam? Is it a pyramid? It's just like a mom and pop store, except that you're usually what you earn. If you're going to do it as a hobby, guess what? You get paid as a hobby. If you want to work it as a true business, it's hard work. But just like a mom and pop store, they don't just establish out, doing very well. They work hard at it for years before they see a profit. The point being that the more you put in, the greater gifts that you're going to receive from it. And a lot of people will frequently, especially within your own inner circle, with friends and family that really don't understand entrepreneurship and or don't understand the value of direct sales companies, especially in this day and age where it really is impacting so many people during this financial crisis. Throughout this last 12 months, for a lot of people, it's a huge financial crisis. Do you want to be that person just waiting for that stimulus, or do you want to create your own stimulus? Do you want to be your own self-worth? And what is the value of working towards more money? Yeah, sadly for some, it's about the carrots. It's about the Louis Vuitton bag. It's about the latest makeup. the latest, I don't know, medical procedure, cosmetic procedure. But for many people, when they really respect the value of money, they understand that the more money that they have, the more people or things they can impact. And isn't that why we're here on this earth? Isn't that part of our legacy? To be part of a positive impact with a positive legacy. So let's break that down. What could you do with more money? Well, maybe you've got a struggling church over the last 12 months. They have not been getting their parishioners in. They're not receiving those donations. And guess what? Their boiler breaks or their AC unit breaks. Well, what if you were able, and I love doing things with that you have visual aid. What if you had your checkbook on you? And because you've been creating that mindset all along and having that good relationship with money and understanding that even the days that you were piss poor, you still went with Wealth Wellness Wednesday and paid it forward. And then years later, something good came about because that's how the universe works. Now you hear that your church is in need of funds. Wouldn't it be nice to just write out a check and not think about it? That's the point of having a healthy relationship and really understanding the value of making more money. You can make, yes, you're going to have those people that make more money and go on vacations, and we're not saying you can't do that. So I want to be clear. I'm not saying you can't go out and buy that dream car, that sports car that you've been thinking about. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about impacting people because of the healthy mindset benefits and the overall health and wellness that you receive when you help and give to others, especially starting when they're unsuspecting. Then you've been working it all this time. I've been involved with Wealth Wellness Wednesday, which I first learned about it through the Ray Higdon group years ago. And it has impacted me profoundly. And I'm going to give you some great examples of what has occurred and how I do it. Sometimes I'll use a card. I'll write a little note. Sometimes, like if I even am at a gas station, you think, ooh, gas stations are so dirty, right? The germs, everyone's so germ conscious. I just fold up, whatever bill and I stick it, where you normally put your credit card in, and I'll put it in there. And actually one time I waited, got in another line. So they didn't know that I had done it because you don't want to reveal yourself per se. And I watched this person and they were kind of looking to put their credit card in. I'm like, what is that? And then they pull it out and they look around like, is this kid a camera? Like, is this a sneaky thing or what's going on? Should I take it or not? And they actually took it. They put their credit card in. They were almost going to take the $5 bill. And then I don't know how she did it. She went back to her car, got a piece of tape or something that was sticky and just unfolded the $5 bill and taped it to the gas. Because maybe in her perspective, I don't need the $5, but guess what? How thoughtful that was that I found it. Now I'm going to pay it forward. And that is the whole ripple effect. And what happens with that is you create that vibe, that energy. And how many people honestly cannot say that helping somebody out, especially someone that you don't know, doesn't make you feel good. Right, Jan? I mean, it makes you feel,
oh my gosh.
It's you are giving yourself a gift of lifting those endorphins and feeling good and saying, and again, it could be $1. So don't think, well, how good is giving $1 away going to make me feel? You don't know what that dollar might do for somebody. And guess what? Just like this woman, if she doesn't need it, she's going to pass it to somebody that maybe does need it. Because you don't know who needs it and who doesn't. That's the whole point.
Right. And think of that person that is at the gas station. I think of Cumberland Farms a lot because I like to go there for my morning coffee. What if it was just $1, but say, a workman is, running in to get his coffee and doesn't realize he has his wallet on him. He's like, oh my God, I need that coffee. And perhaps sees that dollar bill or whatever it may be, and is able to go in, oh my God, and get his coffee, and then maybe takes the change from that and pays for the guy behind him. Like, there's just so many different ways to create that spark to inspire others that continues the ripple effect.
And it's cool. What else is it doing though? Let's think about it. Besides that unsuspecting person feeling good, you're now passing a wealth train of health, because as we've chatted about, it does impact your health. You feel good. It releases those endorphins. And that's how you really understand the value of having that good relationship with money and what money can do to impact your community, to impact you, to impact your future, and to put it out in the universe. And for those that say, well, that sounds a little crazy, how is the universe going to pay you back? You just don't know. And it's kind of like the lottery of the universe. And the point being, once you start doing it on a regular basis, because I do it every single Wednesday, you realize, oh my God, like, I don't care how late it is, or, you know, as the day's going, oh shoot, I forgot to do it. I've got to go out and do that. You get into that, like, I have to do that. I've got to help somebody. I've got to impact someone's life. And it becomes a really good, healthy habit of helping other people. And it's just, you know, it could be a small gesture, it could be a big gesture. The amount of the gesture isn't the point. It's about doing it and then reflecting back. And then, you know, then it's kind of like a journey and a story in your life. You think of how long you've done it, and you try to imagine the different people that you're impacting, and that creates, you know, kind of excitement in your brain, which does what? Releases more great endorphins. So it's a gift that keeps giving, and that is infinite in the giving. And how good is that? In a world where we're filled with a lot of negativity, a lot of bullying on social media, drama, blah, 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 blah. How about let's using that kind of energy and creating a healthier world, a healthier mindset, and helping others in need. And even if they're not in need, you've impacted them. So now they're going to do the same.
Right.
It's cool.
Impact zone with TwoSistas. I mean, how good would that be? Create your own ripple effect. Another sidebar. Today is 199th episode. Tomorrow is 200. Drop in tomorrow. We're actually going on later tomorrow at 12 p.m. for one of our amazing guests that we're very excited about. And speaking of the ripple effect with that, and the fact that tomorrow is, I think, quite momentous of an occasion to celebrate our 200th episode. And I really think about that in terms of mindset, triumph, Wealth Wellness Wednesday, Trending Thursday, and Fantabulous Friday. I think of all the people that are listening or viewing our podcast. And by the way, we thank you all so much. Oh my gosh, this has been an amazing experience for us. But think of that person, and I'm actually thinking of Anne, and I've never met her. And you know, she's working hard toward her goal, and she puts her earbuds in, and she's walking around doing her power walk and listening to TwoSistas. And I just think of that, and that's quite impactful. And no, Anne, I have not bought any potato chips lately, so it always goes
I had
back to the
chocolate chip cookies last night, not gonna lie. It was better than eating this beautiful cake that our neighbor brought over. That was
that looked pretty good. Was it like a cake tort kind of thing?
It was very light. It had peaches and stuff. It reminded me of that bakery back in Connecticut. I can't think of the name of it.
Yes.
It was kind of on that line, but it was very light. But we had served it the night before. And then obviously the guys have been really working hard on the closets project. And so Joe happened to come over because he was, you know, him and Gary have been going back and forth with pickleball and all that happy stuff. And I said, Joe, you know, we got 3 slices left. Why don't you come stay for dessert? And which I was grateful. So I just had some chocolate chip cookies instead, which I'm sure were a little bit lower in calories. So I was happy with that.
Another bromance in the making.
That's right. So 200 episodes, 200 times we have shared our authenticity, our quirkiness, our different themes. And we really hope that we've impacted you in such a way that has brought mixed emotions. I mean, I'm sure there's some things that probably pissed you off. Nothing wrong with that. Maybe got you thinking a little bit more. Maybe got you to get you out of your comfort zone a little bit. Maybe really impacted you on the importance of a healthy mindset, triumphing over something. Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Maybe being a trendsetter yourself, but then also celebrating all your wins on Fantabulous Friday. We hope that we've impacted you. And I think it's kind of ironic that our 200th episode is happening on April 1st. So
yes, I thought that was funny as
get up I'm going to wear tomorrow. 200th episode. We got to do something.
I thought that was hysterical myself. And just as a point of reference too, and this kind of has nothing to do about nothing, but it does relate to our 200th episode. So the process that I go through to download and blah, 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 get everything up and running with the podcast, after I know it's on all of our different platforms and where they need to go, I copy the video and the audio to a little thumbnail drive. So Monday morning when I was driving home from the airport, I'm thinking, oh, I'm probably going to have to change out the USB pretty soon. Oh, I hope it lasts until 200. Yesterday, I tried, after I did the uploads, tried transferring it. It couldn't accept it anymore. So now I'm using one of these. So, and I looked at this and I'm like, wow, that's a lot of chit chat in a little thing.
You better make a copy of that. I don't have one.
Yeah, and we actually started saving them last June.
Right. So we don't have.
So this does not have 200 on them.
Right.
Probably has about 150.
Right. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
We already lived them.
True. We've already lived them, and we've shared a lot of insight. Authentically us. Again, no fancy equipment, although I'm sure at some point we probably will. Still considering.
Still using my. I think this was. I want to say maybe $12 if that. My microphone. I love it because it has the. It moves.
The heck is that? I'm sorry. I got distracted for a second because I was looking at that. I glanced down a little bit and I saw this black thing under the desk, and that kind of reminds. Every time I see that, it reminds me of the snake, and I'm like, oh my God, what is it? And I just realized it's my headband that fell.
Okay, I'm going to add to nothing about nothing before we sign off. So Joe was leaving yesterday. The guys were still gabbing. And of course, in Florida, they have these frogs. I think they're called tree frogs. And they're like a brownish color. And a lot of times you'll see them, hopping or crawling up your house or whatever. So I open up the door and I scream bloody murder because there's one going up and it ended up hopping in the house. I go, Joe, and I shut the door on Joe. And I run back and I'm screaming. And I go back and Gary's like, what? I go, there's a frog in the house. So John's running around and he caught it without killing it and let it loose. But yeah. The little creepy things in Florida do not do well with this naughty boss, but that's okay. I manage.
Well, that's a good thing. We're glad you managed and that you showed up today being your authentic naughty boss, however you want to put it.
Awesome sauce. Well, we thank you, and we're excited about tomorrow, April 1st. What does that mean? A lot of people do a lot of goofy things on April 1st, a lot of pranks. So that'll be interesting, but it's also the start of a new month. This is Holy Week. So tomorrow, today, tomorrow. No, Ash Wednesday already happened. That was the start of Lent.
Isn't today an important date as well?
No, it's tomorrow. It's Holy Thursday.
Oh, I'm a bad Catholic.
Yeah, that's okay. Holy Thursday, Good Friday, then Easter Vigil Saturday, and then obviously Easter Sunday. So it's a big week for a lot of people. They're preparing for, Christians are preparing for the A lot of people think in the Christian faith that the holiest day is actually Christmas, but that's actually false. It's actually Easter. And this is when, it's springtime, religious faith, being faithful, but also the new season. And we frequently talk about ourselves going into different new seasons. So obviously spring has sprung. We're in that spring season, which, new life, resurrection. You're going to see, new flowers growing and the rebirth of life and love. And we've added to that value of that with our being authentically us. We are a journey and a product and in motion and learning. And we always hope that we create content that will make you laugh, maybe make you cry, maybe get you thinking, and maybe the most important thing, add value. So with that, this is Carol Sue, AKA Naughty Boss Lady Canna, published author, me, yay, along with
TwoSistas. And hey, everyone, it's Janice, AKA Wellness Diva 4.0. And yes, I will be taking a shower momentarily. But yeah, as if you all needed to know that. But go out and make it a great one. Create your own ripple effect, whatever that may be. And please join us tomorrow for our 200th episode. We will be live on the Facebook page at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day. Bye.
Bye-bye now.